Well said again, Gary. I hear a little frustration in his voice, and it is just that, a little frustrating, you know, because again, we talk to our legislators, we email our legislators, we fax them, we lobby them, we put on events in their district, and we don't see them show up for that. If there was a big concern about this, if this was a big controversial issue here, and they needed to have this education, they should be here today. They should have attended one of these expos. They should have returned one of my emails, one of the many that we have sent. I'm sure you were all, just like me, a little frustrated. But again, the legislation process is slow by nature. We do not want to see a radical change to our laws happen overnight. Those are unjust changes that happen. It's why we're in this mess to begin with. Now, don't quote me on this, and I don't want it to come back and say, oh, you said this, you said that, but everybody was picking on California's law, you know, written on the back of a postcard. Well, I did a little bit of research myself, and the reason that marijuana and hemp became illegal was probably less words than what was written on the back of that postcard, you know, so it is time to change law, and we're going to do it. And like I said, let's just not get frustrated, let's take a step back, and let's think about what Al said, Al Baker, because that rings again, is that, you know what, we need maybe to pray for them. That maybe there's something going on that we don't know about. Maybe they do need some help. So I hope they get the guidance that they need. I have to mention a dear friend of ours. She was at our first expo. Her name is Mieko Hester Perez. She's an individual from California. She is a non-cannabis user. Her family is pro-life. You know, I wouldn't necessarily say against marijuana, but you know, not involved in the drug culture at all. She has a little boy named Joey. Joey's autistic. She did everything right. You know, she followed their rules. She used their medications. She did everything they said. About 8-9 months ago, you know, Joey wasn't doing so good. He was up to 13 different medications to treat his autism. Just wasn't intaking the nutrients he needed and was going to die. As a matter of fact, Mieko says that he wasn't a candidate for a feeding tube. You know, that's a death sentence when your doctor says you're not a candidate for a feeding tube. It means you're going to die. The kid's going to die. So what does this mom do? She does the next thing that any parent would do. Looks for an alternative. Long story short, she did some research. She found out some information about one of the doctors who actually helped discover, you know, what autism was. Did the protocols, had a study out there, and basically showed that marijuana or cannabis could be used in a situation of autism at this stage with this type of child. So, again, to make the story short, she took the information to her doctors, to the team of specialists that surrounded her son, and they tried it. You know, they tried a marijuana brownie, and lo and behold, it worked. You know, now we're 9 months later. This kid went from 40 pounds to 80 pounds, from not making, you know, verbal skills to start to showing some love towards his family. You know, she credits marijuana for saving her son's life. You know, now she's a little controversial out in California. You know, treating a juvenile with medical marijuana. Now frustration comes in. We're fighting to use it for regular medicine here. You know, it's such a disparity in our states. Al Baker did give me a little bit of vision. You know, he says you gotta grab this. You gotta see where we're going. Where does your district want to go? Where does your state want to go? And I talked a little bit about that vision, providing food, energy, fuel, medicines to the world, and to the nation of the world. I think Wisconsin is in just a unique position to do that. You know, geographically, we're in a climate that will allow this to happen. We have some industry that has already been hurt, that our buildings are empty, right next to railroads. You know, we have the infrastructure there. We have ethanol plants already that are in use. We have railroads connected to them. We're close to the paper mills. Now, all of this is not going to be sparked tomorrow. We're not going to start slapping bricks and mortar together and have this wonderful new vision just built. We're going to have to think about it and implement it step by step. And I'm pretty happy I live in Wisconsin. I mean, it's a beautiful state. You know, I mean, we have, you know, natural resources galore, beautiful parks. Why can't we attract and retain some very smart individuals to come to Wisconsin? You know, to help us think this through, to help us take us to the next level. The service and technology sectors that could come, you know, from the advancements in cannabinoid medicines are just amazing. And then last but not least, in closing, you know, we are an agricultural and manufacturing state. You know, we make stuff, you know? So let's make some stuff. Let's look at the resources we have. Let's use this gift for what it should be used for. Let's try to work towards providing food, energy, and medicine for the nation. I think we need to start with Wisconsin because there's a lot of hurt here. But if we can start with Wisconsin and be successful here and be a model for other states, I don't see anything wrong with that. LEAP is a very unique organization. They bring a twist to the subject that, you know, kind of hits close to home with everybody. And what we're going to do real quick is, I have a quick PowerPoint presentation. I could read it to you, but I think we can all read, so we're just going to go through it rather quickly. We have a 10-minute video from LEAP, and then we're going to open it up to just a little bit of a question and answer period. So, thanks. As I said, I'm going to give her just a couple seconds on each slide, and then we're going to go through and hit the video.